Indian men's team, being chief selector, it's never easy because there are so many critics out there, especially with social media. One, obviously, some players who get left out, they are not happy. Their fan army is not happy. How do you deal with that amount of pressure? Because, you know, we have so much of talent in our country. You select 15, equally capable 30 are sitting out. How do you deal with this pressure?
Yeah, I mean, if you pick 150 tomorrow, they'll still miss that one or two players who's not been picked in that, which is a good problem to have as a selector, that you have so many players to pick from. It improves the competition levels, the performance level stays high. With regards to, I mean, the sport is so popular in India, it's followed so widely that there are going to be people who will be critical of your decisions. The fan bases have increased multiple times over the last few years.
Absolutely.
Social media, I mean, the best way to do it is not read or listen to what's said about you, good or bad. And I've done that as a player because I didn't think it helped me. More so as a selector. Every now and then someone will still send you something. Because a lot of it, and we as selectors keep discussing amongst ourselves as well. You know, try and not read as much as you can. Every time you'll notice something. But you will never be able to do your job objectively if you start worrying about what X, Y, or Z. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's how it is.
But even don't tell me that you haven't taken note of hashtags like justice for Shreyas Iyer, justice for Sanju Samson.
No, I haven't. I promise you. And because, I mean, I am on social media, but the presence is not there. Especially after this job, I've made it a point not to, because it's a no-win situation as a selector. I mean, even as a coach or a captain of the team, it's because there are so many players to pick from, somebody will like the other player or that one player who's missing. So, no, better stay away from it. Five of us watch a lot of cricket through the course of the year. So we are watching each and every player, or as much as possible between the five of us, what they do through the course of the year, which a lot of people sitting here may not know. They might just look at 2 months of the IPL or a couple of tournaments and say that player deserves to be there. But there are other guys who've been doing just as much through the course of the year, and that only we know. But it's impossible to explain about every individual to people. So rather stay away from it. It's helped me. So whether there's a good thing said or a bad thing, doesn't really affect.
Fair enough. I will come to that part which you mentioned about, you know, how IPL shapes the narrative. The performance in IPL shapes the narrative a lot of times, especially amongst the cricket-watching, cricket-lover Janta. But first of all, as chief selector of the men's cricket team, is there a set template? What are the green flags, if I could ask you to list down for us, that you look for in a player when you make a decision, okay, this person is best suited to be named in the 15 that we are selecting for a series or tournament?
I mean, it's a very loaded question. I might be an entire day answering it. Obviously, fitness these days, with the amount of cricket that is played, with IPL now, the 2 months, sometimes we used to get that time off back in the day. That's taken away now. So you're practically playing 10 to 11 months a year. So fitness makes, you know, it is the primary thing. Guy needs to be fit to be able to be available for those 10 or 11 months that we play. Form dictates if he maintains his place in the team or not. And the player knows it. We don't have to tell him as a selector. But with that, you are well aware of which players you want to give a longer rope to. And perhaps some other guy may not get as long a rope. Those players, that again is a judgment call. Comes with the selectors. Obviously, you discuss with the coach and the captain a lot because eventually they've got to run the team that you pick. Yeah, and you know, you've got to have one eye on the future. There is no two ways about it. It doesn't mean you forget the present because you've got to win the games at hand. But maybe half eye, if not an eye on the future, because eventually your job is, in next 3, 4, 5 years' time, to leave Indian cricket in good health. For the next guy who comes in, it should be a slightly easier job for him when he starts. So, but form and fitness are critical.
So the three things that you've listed is form, fitness, and future potential. How do we bring experience in the mix?
I mean, at the moment, we are blessed with experience here. It's not, the good players will play for a period of time, and that's where you gain experience. The thing that, I know BCCI gets blamed for a lot of things, but a lot of people that don't realize, I mean, not just the national team that's playing. There's an India A team, there's an emerging team, there's obviously first-class structure, which is improving, and we have a lot of teams. So all those things go into getting a player that experience IPL. I mean, IPL is such a high-pressure, highly competitive tournament that when a guy comes to the Indian team or the national team, he's more or less ready. I think when we played, there wasn't as much exposure to playing against different countries or different players or with overseas players, that sometimes you took a little bit of time to get adjusted to the top level. I don't think that's the case with players anymore today. I think most of them, when they make their debuts, are ready to go out and perform, and which is a real, makes our job a lot easier.
Does it make your job easy to have experienced players and that legacy, or does it make it more difficult? Because, we have a list of our experienced players who refuse to compromise on their fitness. So that area they have covered. Form also, they say, form is temporary, class is permanent. So is it a sort of a burden to have legacy cricketers and then, sort of find a place for themselves in your team?
No, not at all. I mean, you have those legacy cricketers because they've created it for themselves.
Yeah.
Because of their performance over the years. I mean, there is no one team in world cricket who will not want experience in their team. It's always got to be a balance between some of our youth players or the newer players and your experienced players to guide them. And it's been the case through history. So